Taurus, Happy New Year. Hope you're landing into the new energy of 2025. Just fine, getting oriented with the new frequency that's going to be rolling out this year and how it's going to be influencing you. I know one thing is true. You're going to be following your own rhythms. Maybe you sort of feel like you've adapted to other people's rhythms in the past and you want to do things a little bit differently this year. This year, you're set on kind of doing your own thing, doing what feels right for you, not necessarily listening to the counsel of others or going along with their plans. I just kind of feel this energy of really bringing more of your independence forward in 2025, but we're going to get the scoop for you. This is for any significant Taurus placement. If you have a prominent placement in the second house, or if you're a Scorpio rising, all right? So we're going to dive right into it. And we're going to first get an overarching theme for 2025 and just sort of look at the general energy that you're coming into this year with. We're going to start by seeing what you're leaving behind in the South Node, and then we'll get your 2025 quest theme, and we'll finish it off with sort of having a look at your North Node potential that's there to be activated if you are willing to take the steps to make it so, okay? Destiny only comes about through our own actions and our own free will. So we all get dealt a hand of fate, but it's up to us how we play it. So let's start out by seeing what are you leaving behind in 2024? What did you leave behind? Ooh, yes, there was some tower that fell to kind of close out the last year. You could say cap it off, but I feel like this was a progressive tower for you, because you know that what you want wants you, and you're ready to call in a brand new cycle here. Your orientation is focused up, which I like this. So it does show that you're more focused on where you're going than where you've been. I think there's certain things that happened in 2024 that let you know where your loyalties lie, or where certain loyalties didn't lie with you. So certain cuts were made, certain things fell away, certain relationships faded out. And I think that maybe you took the time you needed to process all of that, but you're not staying stuck in that place. Right now, you're really thinking about where you're going and what you want to dream into being here. So this is very positive energy. I feel like you're working with your creative energy at this time. And I think you're using sort of the material of whatever happened with that tower that fell to be the foundation of how you move forward here. There is something you have your sights set on, and it has its sights set on you too. For some of you, this could be a particular person with that sort of tower energy coming in. You could be dealing with an Aries. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. It's possible, okay? Also, we have the number 7 breaking down from 16. So you could be dealing with a life path 7, or you could be dealing with a Libra. They rule over the 7th house. So let's see what is coming in here for you. What is your overarching quest theme for 2025? I'm working with a combination of the Sacred Rebels Oracle and the Halloween Oracle here. So a little mixed energy coming in with you. I do feel like there might be some stuff that still needs to be tied up from the previous year, but I don't think you're focusing on that too much. It's sort of like that. It'll come when it comes. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Your main focus is on where you're going, and this feels very positive. Yes. And with that, we have number 24 here, new birth, guarded vigilantly. So you're just in the beginning stages of this transformation. I do think that you took some time to integrate some thorns. I think you took some time to process certain pain that you experienced in 2024. You may have even needed to cocoon for a while, kind of give yourself some space to get in touch with what you were feeling and what you want now. I mean, I think that that's pretty common anytime you go through a major change, a major shift. It causes you to sort of look at yourself and ask yourself, okay, well, what do I do with this now? Where do I want to go now? And we do have 5 on the clock when I brought that in. So I feel like right now you're currently in this process of change. You're sort of getting your vision formulated. You know certain aspects of it, but you're just at the beginning stages. And I think it's really important for you to have boundaries around this as you're bringing in whatever this is that you're wanting to transform in your life in 2025. It will be a big year of transformation for you. There will be a very significant new birth in your life. So there's something new coming in here that will be with you for the duration of 2025. In fact, it's sort of like the main focal point, this new beginning that you're bringing about in 2025. And it's something that is informed by your wisdom. It's sort of like you've known what's caused you pain in the past. You don't want to repeat cycles. You're looking for all out transformation here. And I do think that maybe this is something you need to keep really close to your heart. I wouldn't necessarily let a lot of other people in on whatever this is that you're looking to bring transformation in. I'm getting a sense that for some of you, it may be an important relationship that's coming in for you and you're wanting to move forward with this. 6:22 on the clock. I would say yes, there's some kind of partnering energy here that's part of this vision. But you know when you've let too many people in the past, the way that it's sort of influenced things to head south. It brought in more pain, more suffering in a situation than was necessary. There may be some healing process that's involved with this situation. And this is something that's very special to you. And I'm just noticing she has like these pearl necklaces here. And so it's making me think, don't cast your pearls before swine. Don't try to let people know how special something is to you, how meaningful it is to you, or perhaps even how transformational this is for you, this particular connection. You may feel like this is really somebody who's part of your soul family. They could be a soul mate that you're going through some kind of healing process with. And you know, if you let too many people in on this and you share your insights, your experience, first of all, they won't get it, okay? And second of all, they could try to sabotage it, all right? You don't want to get caught up in the thorns again. So I think this is the time to take it nice and slow and steady. Don't rush too much with this, okay? Yes, bottom of the deck. See, you don't need to get any of their input about it. I do feel like whatever this dream is, it is going to take flight. And you already have everything you need to make this happen. In fact, you're working with this number 17 star energy here. There could be an Aquarius involved in this situation or a Leo rising, okay? What is already with you? Work with what you got, because you have more understanding about this situation than anybody else that you could pull in on it. And I do feel like if you bring too many other people into this situation, how they think a situation should transform will be at odds with your vision. And that really could spoil things here. So, you know, take a little bit of that wisdom that you gained in 2024 and carry it forward with you here. It's all about you, you know, really nurturing this within yourself. And I also feel there's still a little bit of a process of letting go you're going through here, releasing some control over things that maybe were dreams you used to have that didn't turn out quite the way you hoped they would. Yeah, you're kind of in very much like this sort of hermit mode right now. You could be dealing with a Virgo in relation to that. But I feel like this is time to really let go of whatever didn't turn out the way you hoped it would. So you can open up space for this new vision to really take root in your life. And I do feel like there's assistance coming in, divine assistance coming in to assist with this. Let me see top of the deck energy here. Yes. And whatever this is, whatever you're dreaming up here, it's very much in alignment with the true you. It's very much in alignment with who you've come to realize you are. I do feel like there's been a lot of self-reflection here. I don't know why. I mean, she does really look like her, but you may have been listening to Tori Amos. There might be some kind of connecting point there. Maybe you've been doing a lot of soul searching, listening to Tori Amos. I do see this energy here, though, of like a saucer that's on this lily pad here, right? So something that is ready to be nurtured. Something that's ready to be nurtured. I think this is going to be the year that your cup really gets filled. But before that happens, there has to be this sort of unfolding process. I think you've been through the mud, okay? You've been through the mud, you've been through the muck. In some cases, there's been mud slinging. And I think through all of that, you know, you had to sort of cleanse yourself of other people's perceptions of you, what they thought of you, what they thought of your situation or your choices. And you had to just get really clear with how you see yourself. And I do feel like you're in that place where you're starting to have greater understanding about your motivations, especially emotionally. You're also really getting down to the root of what's true for you on a spiritual level too, on a soul level here. And I think you're very much in alignment with who you are. And as you move forward here, 1117, yeah, it's like that star energy is going to come into view. I feel like you're just sort of at that tail end portion though, where you're in the last bit of like kind of cleansing, releasing, and soon that lotus is going to start to unfurl its petals. Then there will be some kind of, it feels like it's going to be some kind of a moment where you say, I get it, I see now, you know? It's like all the pieces slide into place and you finally understand why something didn't work out quite the way you wanted it to. It was so a new dream could come into being that's actually a lot more in alignment with who you truly are. But at the time, when you were originally dreaming, whatever it was that fell flat, it was more in alignment with sort of a version of yourself that was a little outdated. I think that you've been able to sort of like polish the mirror, so to speak. And now you have a different view of who you are, what you want, what works for you. So I do think that you will experience fulfillment here, but it's very important that there's this recognition that you're just at the beginning stages. And so when it's something's at the beginning stages, you really want to guard it vigilantly. Because, you know, sometimes when you're really ready to grow and you're ready to sprout your wings, you're ready to take flight, you're ready to really step into the truth of who you are and all that entails, there might be a little something that might be controversial to some about what you're stepping into here. It's important that you kind of ward that from prying eyes and really just create a sense of even personal intimacy around it before you even come into contact with another here, because I do feel like there is somebody else you're dealing with here. Okay, let's see what your North Node potential is. We're just going to do a cut of the deck for that. Yeah, see, during this time, you're sort of entering into the new year just with a lot of ease. You're taking your time, you're not rushing ahead. I do feel like you're going to be in this place of sort of pausing up until that point when we reach the full moon in Cancer that's going to come in on the 13th of this month. At that point, I think there will be something that you have integrated enough where you will know like what the next step forward is. I do feel like whatever the next step forward is in this new vision you're hatching here, you do recognize that there is something that needs to just sort of be released to the archives of the past. It doesn't need to be revisited again. And from there, I feel like you're slowly going to be moving into the new energy, 1414 on the clock. Yes, it's all about the timing. That's that temperance energy. There could be a Sagittarius connected to this, okay? But this is about the sacredness of the pause. This part is important too. It is important that you create a sense of reverence around what's coming to a close, that you give yourself the time to reflect on it, process what you're feeling. I think there's just the last little bit that you're kind of holding on to here, but I do see you loosening your grasp and releasing this. And that's when things will start to transform. But I don't feel like it's going to be one of these things where it happens overnight. It's a slow unfolding process. And yes, look, dream activation coming in with the number 19 here. With this imagery coming through, look at that lotus flower imagery. Also, I feel like this is you very much being tapped into the energy of the world soul. You may find that as you're doing your processing and sort of closing old chapters and just doing the last remnants of that, you may feel like you really get most of your balancing point when you're out in nature. So do connect with, you know, the natural elements in any way that feels right to you, whether that's going hiking or, you know, just sitting outside and taking in the view while you drink your morning coffee, or going on walks in your neighborhood and just appreciating the flow of the seasons and just having that time to yourself to sort of process what you're feeling. But there's another thing that happens when we let ourselves go out into the world and don't stay inside. You know, we do kind of invite synchronicity to come in. And in fact, there might be something about that. Like the more that you get out, the more that you connect with the natural elements, the more this vision is going to hatch for you. And the more key players that are involved in this vision will start to come into your field. Okay. This is the energy of the sun. So whatever is hatching here, it will bring ultimate fulfillment and happiness here. Some of you want to expand your reach. Some of you want to connect on more of a worldwide level. You may be considering doing some kind of work that involves you stepping out of the box of a cubicle and getting online, and maybe doing some kind of spiritual oriented work or creative oriented work, or something that's very innovative that gives back something of value to the collective here. Also has you forming a lot of new connections too that are just as lit up as you about this new vision. And this is wonderful. You're dreaming a beautiful dream into existence. So I like this energy. Okay. There's a lot of happiness that wants to come through here for you. There's a lot that's ready to transform in your life. But before you can sort of start this new cycle, there is one last thing you have to let fall away. I do feel like you're coming to the tail end of that, but your world is really going to be transformed this year. As long as you keep this vision at the forefront of your consciousness and you do that networking, you open yourself up to new experiences, new people. 1744 on the clock. I do see you rooting this vision of the star. I do see you achieving that north node activation. So this is really beautiful energy. Dream a beautiful dream, Taurus. All right, I like this. This is really good. Really good. I mean, I think you already have everything that you need, you know, to make this possible, at least get it started. But there are some key players who are coming in that will be part of bringing this to fruition. Now we're going to look at the hand of fate that you're being dealt in 2025. This is when we look at the less than savory stuff, and we have a look at potential challengers you could face on your path, as well as potential reversals you may experience. These are the things that we have to go through to learn certain lessons, and they pull something out of us. We look at this right off the bat so we can kind of get it out of the way and get to more of the good stuff. So let's sort of see, what is the hand you're being dealt in 2025? Okay, we do have 9 of Swords here, and this really is coming in like Archer energy. So this could be a Sagittarius here that you have some worry, you have some stress around. That's at the forefront of your consciousness. It is the basis of the matter here. Yeah, I think there's been some fighting here. I think that there's been something that's been needing to be sort of like cauterized. You know what I'm saying? It's like too much energy is being bled out here. There's something that really needs to be addressed and sort of like settled. I feel like this is a case where something's been left too long without it being addressed. It's got like old wound energy, you know, old wound energy. And I do see there's been quite a few fights here. There's been something that's been causing worry, concern, may have been some sleepless nights around this, right? So This is sort of the basis of the matter right now that you might still be trying to integrate here. Right? Let's get some more details for you around this battle that you've been monitoring here. You've been at war with somebody. You've been at odds with somebody here. And this has been a bit long standing. Something has been sort of festering for too long, and it sort of is causing you to siphon your own happiness by holding on to this, It might be good to just let it go. Maybe it's not about proving a point, maybe it's not about getting someone to see something your way, especially if they're committed to kind of keeping the fight going. It might be better to just say, whatever, what's done is done. It can be very freeing for you, but I do feel like it's draining your energy to sort of keep this going, whatever this is. Okay, so let's get some more details here. All right, let's get some more details here. Let's see, what is the hand of fate you're being dealt here in 2025? We know you're coming out of a cycle where you had a lot of sort of battle of wills with people here. We got Page of Cups energy here, right? So this is, maybe wanting to issue some kind of invitation, maybe wanting to reach out, maybe wanting to take that first step to bury the hatchet, make peace with someone, right? It's funny though, I'm noticing this owl. This owl is a great horned owl. And great horned owls are something that, for me, I'm familiar with in terms of the role they play in Comanche culture, which is they're considered like the warriors and sort of to suss out the enemy. And this is the hand that you're dealt, right? This is your fate. So there may be a desire. We do have to remember you are Scorpio rising is associated with Taurus. That's a Taurus Descendant sign. So there could be part of you that maybe wants to reach out, like open up a certain conversation, and you're coming forward as if, you're just being amicable, wanting to bury the hatchet, so to speak, or somebody could be approaching you in this way. It could be a water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But this person sort of may want to get their last lick back in. Like, I would be a little bit mindful of this approach. I'm not so sure what this person has on their mind with this advance. Let's get some more details here and see. Let's see what else comes out here. I mean, this energy is now crossing this card that we laid down for the new birth that you need to guard vigilantly. And this card is crossing it. So what is this card crossing? Eight of Wands. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So this is the thing, is this person comes forward in such a way where, they're offering some kind of favor or friendship or offering some kind of assistance. But it says here that the favor is not just of friends, but of foes. And this person knows your language. They know how to appeal to you. This person likes to appeal to vanity. And maybe you've been in a situation with this person before where, you kind of cut off your nose to spite your own face here. Do expect communication coming in from this person. It does look like it could block this new birth that you want to have in your life. I feel like they're trying to get some information about where you're investing your energy now. This is just something to be mindful of. And I do feel like this person will try to reach out more than once. So there may be a need to lay down some boundaries. If this is somebody you decided you wanted to cut off because you already sort of saw through a certain facade. Yes, you see, because right now you're in this place where you're about to enter the realm of the Nine of Pentacles. And Nine of Pentacles is a very independent, strong, well-off kind of energy. I feel like you have something you're developing here, and you already know where sort of like your good familiars lie. I feel like whatever this is, this approach, you'll know who this is because you automatically suspect it. You've already been at odds with this person before. There's been problems with this person before. So just remember that. You could be tempted too. I could see it. You could be tempted to kind of like, well, you both could kind of be mirroring each other. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, well, maybe I'll let them in a little bit so I can get my lick back in. You know, there could be a little bit of that there. Because I do see that there's been something that's been long standing between the two of you that hasn't really been addressed, right? And I don't feel like people are being real here yet. It doesn't look like that. What I do see is that you're in a really strong position here. You're in a very strong position where you've reached a certain level of understanding about what works for you, what doesn't. You've achieved some level of growth here. You're feeling good and you know what you want to invest in. You're also in this very creative process, and you have some idea here about what you're wanting to bring into being here, but it's just in its beginning stages. And if you let this person in, I feel like it could act as a block. Whereas if you continue to just go your own way, Nine of Pentacles is a very independent energy. You're going to come along the right familiars, you know, the right people to partner with you on this. And this could be something you're doing that is creative in nature. It does say here, causes any manner of music to be played, causes trees to bend at will, brings excellent familiars. But see, it's really about you kind of trusting your own magic, trusting your own vision here with the Nine of Pentacles. If you let your sort of vanity override where you're like wanting to sort of humble somebody or put them in their place because of what went down before, and because there's still like, it looks like there's still some thorns there, whatever this situation is, you would be cutting off your own nose to spite your face. Whereas this is something you do need to be aware of. Very important to be mindful of here, because I do feel like you're coming into a certain power where you're really going to have what you need to transform your life, and the right people coming onto your path who will be allies to you in bringing this dream, this vision you have into being. And you don't need this person's help. Like, they may be coming in saying that they can assist you in some way or get you further if you bring them in on whatever this is. I don't feel that's the case at all. There'll be a blockage here. I think they're more trying to suss out what you're up to. That's the vibe it's got to me. Let me do a cut of the deck here and see what we got. The World. Yep. Yep. Yeah, see, this is somebody that I do feel like you've been kind of like chained to them in the past. You may have worked as a team before. You may have been after a certain objective, and you may have gone after that objective through questionable means. I do have to say, this does have some vibes of a certain wizard sending out a griffin in the form of an ally to steal some treasure here. But with the World here on the scene, I do feel like both are compromised in this situation. One who feels like they're in the position of power, has the upper hand, is actually injured here. And the other who thinks they're free in some way, think they have the freedom to just fly free whenever they want. They're kind of chained to this person here. So this is a little bit of a compromising arrangement. And usually when we're dealing with the World, 29, 22 on the clock, 11, 22. So you see, there's something here that needs to be transformed so you can come into the proper alignment. Usually when we're looking at the World, success is on the other side of closing something out. And if we don't close that out, we get caught up in another cycle around that karmic wheel, right? So I think this is something you do need to be aware of. whatever this is that you're up to, you're very skilled at it, okay? And it's some kind of craft you're working on here. It's like a labor of love. There's something you're developing here. And I do feel like you're studying a lot and you're gaining more knowledge here. And there's something about really being mindful of who you attach yourself to in regard to this, because it's something that could come back to bite you down the road, or it could have a very inhibiting factor that won't allow this vision you have to grow as much as you want it to, right? With the world, you could be dealing with any of the fixed sign energies. I mean, certainly your energy is there, Taurus. I think this personally affects you. You could also be dealing with a Scorpio. Scorpio risings, of course, is speaking very strongly to you. You are Taurus descendants. Leo energy coming through pretty potently. Leo energy also always makes me think of the Strength card, something that happened in the past that still has a little bit too much sway that could influence things. And then we have Aquarian energy as well, okay? There's something here that does need to be transformed and released so the world can turn and you can move into this new successful cycle that wants to come in for you. All right, let me see what we got on the other side here. Yeah, I'm telling you, you should be mindful of this advance with the Five of Swords, because whoever this character is, they want get back, you know, they want to get even here. And this says here, builds high towers, castles, and cities, afflicts men with many days of wounds full of rot and maggots, okay? This makes me think of, in the I Ching, there is a hexagram called Ku, work on what has been spoiled. So something's been spoiled here. And it's been spoiled by a particular alliance you used to have in the past. This could be a Leo. It could be a Sagittarius with that horse energy here. We've had those characters come out quite a bit. It doesn't have to be, but I bring in the signs for you because sometimes it really dings for people. You could have been dealing with a very intractable person who was very stubborn. They acted like you were partnering on something or you're in it together, me and you against the world, but really it was about their world the way they saw it. And this didn't work out too well for you. I do feel like this was the result of a tower. This alliance was the result of a particular tower coming down. And I do think there's been a lot of battles over this. I think there's been a lot of fighting over this, and where there used to be maybe a feeling of real togetherness, there's been infighting around this. Something just didn't work out. But I do know that something is old, something is still festering, something has already been spoiled. And the fact that it hasn't been addressed or closed out is what's causing sort of like this draining of energy, draining of potential, draining of life force in some cases, you know. This could be something that's just a big energy drain for you, right? So be mindful. Be mindful. I do see you getting approached by this person. I do see that both you and this person could be of the mindset where you think maybe you can kind of like get a lick back, or, you know, you might entertain that. Like, oh, let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I can, you know, get one over on them. Like there's sort of like both people are a little bitter because they feel like the other made them a bit of a fool. It was a little blow to the vanity is what I got. But if you let this in, it's going to sabotage you. It's better off just sort of like laying it to rest. Okay, let's go ahead and see your fortune. Okay, what luck, what allies are coming your way? Bottom of the deck. Do you see what I mean? It's time to break the circle here. It may have been a circle at one time. It may have been cohesive. It may have been an alliance. It ain't anymore. This will block, okay? It says breaking the circle lifts opposing barriers and brings victory. So there's something that does need to be cut off here. And I feel like it's somebody that used to be part of your circle that they need to firmly stay out of your circle, because otherwise this could be quite problematic for you, okay? So there's a little tip. That message is coming in very strongly for you. Something is meant to be left behind. There's nothing to recover there. That's what I got, okay? So let's see, what are the luck and allies coming in for Taurus in 2025? What are the luck and allies coming in for Taurus? The fortune coming in for Taurus in 2025. What are the luck and allies coming in for Taurus in 2025? What is their fortune? Bottom of the deck. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Look. Wow. 35 on the clock when I gave the great reveal of this. And here we are again. It's being very clear about this. Like something needs to be cut off here. Big time. And it's coming in. So I'm going to bring it in because often when I think of a circle, I think of those who manifest with each other. And it was 35 when I brought this in. That's double eights. Double eights is what? 16, a tower. And it makes me think of a circle that gathers, like calling stuff in together. So if you were doing alchemy work with, a particular group of people in a circle, it's time to break that circle because it will foil your plans. All right. So this works out to your advantage. It is in your best interest and will improve your fortune if you cut this off, whatever this is. All right. Because any more of that is just going to bring more of the same. I do see that. Okay. What is the luck and allies wanting to come in for Taurus in 2025, Spirit? What is the luck and allies wanting to come in for Taurus in 2025, Spirit? Woo. Eight of Pentacles. Yes, see. And this landed right in my lap. So I feel like this is really what's landing right in your lap. It's some kind of work you're doing here. And this will be a real banner year for you if you focus on whatever this is that you're creating here. You got some real talent here. Like whatever you're dreaming up, this is brilliant. And I also feel like it provides something of value to others. Whatever this work project is that you're wanting to develop here, it will be a banner year if you focus on this, but it's just about you. It's about staying in your lane with this. I wouldn't partner with anybody around this, and especially partnering with people that you've already had problems with in the past, because this will really go south. But I feel like you're really going to make a name for yourself with whatever this is. You got some brilliant idea here. But it does require you to just sort of do your own thing for it to be all that it is meant to be. Look at this. Yes, see? And with that, we got an Ace of Cups. In fact, I feel like this is something that's really going to fulfill you. It's going to bring you a lot of happiness. I also feel like there's some opportunity that comes in for you in the summer that really takes this to the next level. And you're just going to feel so rejuvenated by this. Yes. And in some cases where you feel like maybe you didn't make the best choices in the past, it is coming through because it says obtains the mercy of God and gives long life. I do feel like as long as you don't sort of repeat mistakes you've made in the past and you do the right thing here, you're going to find that you're going to get a new beginning that's going to lead you in a rewarding direction. But it's sort of like if you don't take the wisdom from the lessons you've already learned over the past year, I think it could really hold you back. Okay. If you consider, how things were last year and what you're not wanting to revisit, and you just gracefully let things go, in such a way where you can cut something off without having to stir up more drama around it. You know what I'm saying? If you just stay in your own lane and focus on this, what's inspiring you here, you're going to make a real name for yourself. I also feel like you might be sending out invitations in the summer to some kind of opening or some kind of event, or you're going to be like raising a glass. There's some new beginning there in relation to this idea you have. It looks like it's like work oriented. And it will really pay off. It puts you in a good place financially, but not just that. It also really is a source of growth for you on every level, mind, body, spirit. It's something that just really makes you feel like you're in your element, and it's going to have this like real rejuvenating effect on your life. And whatever this is, if you invest in it, you don't get pulled back into some ish, I feel like it has longevity, it has longevity for a long time to come. Okay, let me give one more round here, and then we'll do a cut of the deck. Luck and allies coming in for Taurus in 2025. Whatever you're doing here, it provides like some kind of knowledge. So there may be something you're teaching others about through this work you're doing. You may be sharing some knowledge that you've gained, with others through this work you're doing. It's like an area of your expertise, okay? And you have some real brilliant idea here. So don't let other people piggyback on it, okay? Because this is all about you here, and it's going to really pay off for you. I think entrepreneurship will look really good for you if you're heading in that direction. Oh yeah, it'll look really good for you with the sun here. This is success and happiness. Summer is a really important time for this for you. And I love it. It brings a total restoration of life for you. You feel like, yes, I made it to the other side. May even put like some kind of spotlight on you. And you'll have protection from your adversaries. You'll also have protection from rabies and wild beasts. So anybody who's, wanting to like come at you, foaming at the mouth, or, whose bark is worse than their bite, as long as you know when it's time to really just like cut something off and let it go, you'll be just fine. Let your work speak for itself, Sometimes that's the best, especially if you've been dealing with a really difficult situation, people are invested in misunderstanding you. Success is the sweetest get back, let me tell you. And, it doesn't hurt anybody. It just betters your life. And, anybody who has a problem with it, well, then they shouldn't be sitting at that table with you anyway, right? But it does promise some beautiful outcome here with the sun, Leo energy coming there. And with this, we got the lovers, got Gemini energy here too. So I also feel like this is a time too when, love is really going to thrive for you in the summer. There may be a new beginning in love in the summer that really just brings the joy and pleasure back into your life. There's going to be a lot of happiness in this relationship. If you're already in a relationship, look for a rejuvenation in your relationship around the summertime. And where there has been negativity that's been caused by other people inserting themselves in your situation, you'll be well on the other side of that, okay? Really good energy here with the lovers, okay? Love it. Cut of the deck just to cap it off for you. The Hangman. Yep, I'm telling you, okay? Be aware of that Page of Cups energy. They may be reaching out to you. You may hear from this person. They may feel like they're kind of caught up. They need you to help them, get out of the predicament they're in. And they'll have a desire for knowledge. Like they're going to be asking you a lot of questions. They want to know what you're up to, but you'd be wise to just let this pass you by, because if you do, it will protect you from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. Okay. Pisces energy coming in there. Other side of the deck. King of Wands. Okay. Daniel coming in there. Eloquence gives answers to those in doubt. All right. Fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. All right. So this is something that you need to be mindful of here. I think that, there's a way that you can handle a situation where you can close something out eloquently. You know what I mean? You can close something out without revealing your hand. You can close something out without stirring at the hornet's nest. I really see you in your independent energy here, though, I have to say, because King of Wands is a highly independent energy. So whatever is coming in here that used to be hitched to you, that was problematic, it's best to be untangled from this, because I feel like that's what's going to preserve your sun. And do look for Leo being a very important sign in terms of some kind of happiness coming in here. So if you had some kind of falling out with a Leo, you might be able to make peace in that situation, get things back on the right track, okay? Look for summertime for that to come in. Leo could be a good ally to you in this situation, all right? Leo might have a certain perspective that gives you a little bit of a grounding that needs to come in this situation, that doesn't keep you on sort of a little bit of a repetitive loop. All right. Okay, let's check it out. Now we're going to look at the Arcane DS deck here, and we're going to find out about your strengths, your power, your level ups you're going to experience in 2025. All right, we're also going to look at the magics you hold, the magics you'll recover, the magics you'll wield in 2025. And then we're also going to have a look at what advantages will be coming your way, or what advantages do you hold in 2025. Right. Let me go ahead and just move these out of the way a little bit so you can see me do the cuts. Just move this stuff aside here for a moment. All right. So it's in the frame. Yes. This first pile I'm cutting here is going to be for the advantages you'll hold in 2025. Okay. This middle pile here is going to be your magics. And then the final pile here that we'll start with is going to be your strengths, your power, your level ups. Let's look at that first. All right, your strengths, your powers, your level ups. I do feel like somebody was taking advantage of you in a situation. They were sort of using you as their footstool to get a level up. They had you in a bit of a subservient position. And they might have even been rubbing that in your face a little bit, I have to say, sort of like flaunting the advantages they had while you were really just sort of struggling to make ends meet, or were dealing with a really difficult situation. And they were just sort of taking a ride on your back, I have to say here. I feel like that's turning around. There's a change here. There's a changing of the guards. There's a tables turning moment here. We do have big Scorpio energy coming through here to swipe that kingdom from King Fancy there. And I don't think that you're going to be in that position anymore. So this is definitely getting back into your power, not being in a more compromising or subservient position anymore. This could even be around a house situation, okay? Whatever this is, it's something that really stole some kind of happiness from you, or you perceive it that way. But I do feel like whoever has been abusing their power in this regard and putting you in this difficult spot, this tight spot, time's up on that, okay? This is about to come to an end. And let's see what we got here. Top of the deck, yeah. I mean, somebody here is just, you know, full of it, all right? And you're going to be able to see right through it. And I do think that this is energy that's still kind of trailing a little bit. It feels like it's the energy that you're still in the process of closing up here. Again, you might hear from this person. They might reach out to you. They might have real long-winded explanations about why things went down the way they did. They might come off holier than thou. They might say, let's just make peace. Let's just kumbaya it out, man. But there's a lot of holes in this person's story. And the reality is this person is feeling a little bit weakened at this time because they weren't getting a lot of power from siphoning off of you. 49:44 on the clock breaks down to 4:44. That's what time it is. So do be aware of when this opportunity is presented to you. If you really want to be in your strength and your empowerment and you want to level up here, this would be a door of opportunity that's best closed, all right? This is very important. We know that you got to sort of make the right calls here if you want to secure all this good stuff that's wanting to come in for you. So it's very important that you take heed of this, okay? All right. That feels very complete to me. Let me do a cut at the deck. What happens? What happens if Taurus knows to let this pass by? What happens here? Yeah, you see, this could be an intimate connection you had. This is a very greedy, grabby energy. It's just going to take and take and take. It's going to take and take and take. And they are sneaking around here. They're wanting an in. They're wanting an in. Oh, and this is hidden. That's interesting. What we got here? Yeah. See, this is the key, man. You just got to break those shackles. You don't need to be injured. Like, I feel like a lot of injury that you've experienced in this situation that's still kind of lingering here is a direct result of you being attached to a particular person. That's what it is, man. As soon as you give that action to rocking it out, rocking in the free world, and you're feeling good, you're back in your own element here with a shitty acoustic guitar guy, right? So it's almost like it's not wanting to give details about how things go. It's like, obviously there's a way to turn this situation around, but it's not going to be turned around if you continue to kind of like play out the same scenarios with the same characters. It's just not going to work. It'll get you caught up and you'll get injured as a result. It'll work against you. All right, let's look at your magics. The magics you hold, the magics you'll claim, the magics you'll recover in some cases, and the magic you'll wield. What do we got here? Oh, I like this. See? We got the orgy, but see, this orgy here is going on in the brain space. Now, you might have been in a situation where you used to, sort of get your power, you used to get your sort of mana, you could say, from your intimate connections, but that got a little bit complicated. And I do feel like as you start to cut off certain connections that just prove to be draining for you, instead what happens is your brain starts firing off. It's like you start getting all the synapses firing off in that brain of yours, and you got some brain child that wants to come into being here. You're going to get really turned on intellectually. I feel like there's some secret sauce that's coming in here in the form of a brilliant idea that you're meant to execute. To me, it feels like it's really coming in the area of some kind of work that you're going to be doing here that's going to be hugely successful for you if you don't get distracted, okay? So this is really, the magic comes through when you cut yourself off from what's compromising or confusing. And from there, I feel like it's like so much creative energy coming in. I also feel here there's the right kind of connections coming in here too that are able to like build on this creative idea you have. And there's a lot of like very proactive kind of connections coming in here, progressive connections here that further a creative vision of yours so it can actually like get legs and go somewhere. What do we got on the top of the deck here? Yeah, whatever this vision is that you have, it's something that's going to steal your heart. It's like it's got your total focus here. I really feel that. And with the thief coming in here, I do feel like where you felt like somebody really did you wrong, did you dirty, I do feel like this, whatever this is that you're investing your energy in and creating here, it's going to be able to like kind of reclaim your heart from another, right? It's almost like don't get distracted. Only if you get distracted will you be bitten. Remember it said you'll have protection from bites and rabies and wild beasts, wasp energy here, wasp bite, it stings. And so there's something you don't need to learn another time here, I have to say. And it could even be, maybe you felt like did this person like work me a little bit? If you were dealing with somebody who is known to craft the spell or two, maybe you felt like this person did a little kind of control work on you. Maybe you feel like they did a sweetening jar on you. Maybe you feel like, you know, they did something to try to lure you in, and you may have gotten caught up in that for a while. But really, I feel like the best way to sort of break any of those spells, and this could just be somebody who caught you caught up, but I'm bringing it in because we are talking about magics here, right? The best way to break any spell is just to put your heart fully into something else. And there's some vision you have here. There's some vision you have here that is like really using that sort of maybe sexual energy in a more creative way. It's like when you free yourself up from just sort of connections that fall a little flat in that regard, like they don't really deliver, it frees up all this creative energy. And I do see you really throwing your heart in something that sort of steals your heart back from somebody that had too much of a grip on your heart in the past, but it wasn't a positive thing. It was like something that caused you a lot of pain here, right? So I think you're going to successfully be able to steal your heart back from a particular thief here, which is good. All right, let's do a cut of the deck. Oh, yeah. And whoever you're aligning with here, it looks like it's a match made in heaven. It's also something here that makes you feel very gratified with that pig energy. It's also a path out of the wilderness, so to speak. We have werewolf and pig making out here. You could be dealing with somebody born in the year of the pig. We also have the wolf energy there. Wolf is associated with Pisces on the medicine wheel, so there could be a Pisces connection here. Also, I got new moon energy, so there could be a hint at this with the new moon that comes in Aquarius that lets you know what path is going to lead you to true gratification here. That's when that Pathfinder medicine gets activated for you. So look for that new moon in Aquarius when that comes in, which will probably be like late January, I believe. I'm not sure of the exact date. All right. Let's see what we got on the other side here. Oh, yes. Big, sexy Satan here. Well, you may be tempted. I mean, you may be tempted to take a walk on the wild side. You're going to have to balance that out. All right. There's something for you to balance out here. But I do feel like you're going to feel like you're kind of like back in your element again. That's what I feel. I feel like this is you. I feel like this is you stepping back into your power because we already had this piece of you turning the tables on someone, you know. That makes me think of the Capricorn energy. So there could be a Capricorn coming in here that really does it for you. They light your fire. Also, this is you really finding that special, like, that special essence that had gone missing that just makes you really feel like you're in your element. It's really good for 10th house matters when we're looking at big, sexy Satan here. So yeah, something you're doing here, something you're working on is really going to change the way other people see you. It's going to improve your public image. Maybe you're also doing a little revamping here. You may be working a little glamour magic. Yeah, I could see that. You may be working a little glamour magic. Maybe somebody that you're connecting to or somebody that you get romantically involved with, they really do it for you and they help you reclaim your fire. And maybe you're kind of like a dynamic duo too. And so it shifts public opinion of you. You sort of feel like, yeah, that's more like it. I'm back, you know? Also, this could be a connection where, you know, the sensuality is like off the charts. That feels a little bit magical too. You all might even raise power together that way, I have to say. All right. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Let's look at your advantages in 2025, Taurus. Oh, I love this. Well, your advantage in 2025 is to be able to take the best parts out of the past or what's traditional and to bring them into the future, to update them, put a new spin on them. All right. So I feel like you are moving into expansion here, but you're not totally abandoning tradition. You're not totally abandoning all of your past. There is something here that you feel does stand the test of time. I do see it moving forward with you. Okay. This is also something that is about, playfulness too. You might finally be ready to just, inject a little bit more playfulness into your life. The more that you can play, the more that you can challenge yourself to sort of push against the edge of your security. I mean, sometimes, Taurus, you like to play it real safe. It's hard for you to do something really different. I think you'll ease into it, but you may be, again, coming into contact with somebody here that will help show you the way to move into expansion. That's how it feels to me. Like they're sort of showing you some new things. They're teaching you some new ways of looking at things. And yeah, it's coming in with this moon energy again. So maybe whatever starts here with the new moon in Aquarius, by the following full moon, it takes you to the next level with this person. You're moving into greater expansion with each other. There's something to build on here. I do feel like you can't do things the way you've always done them, right? You have to sort of challenge your edge a little bit in 2025. Embrace the new, innovate a little bit. Go ahead and allow somebody to inspire you, to challenge your limits here and ease into it, okay? Because dolphin medicine is associated with breath work, mana in that respect, the mana we get from the breath we breathe. So there is something here about, you know, ease into it, okay? Ease into this expansion. But I do think there is a moving forward here. And it could be with somebody that, you feel like they can help you get where you need to go. It may be unfamiliar territory for you. And they are understanding of sort of like your stuck places or where you play it a little too safe, but they know how to make you feel confident and just like taking it a little bit further. They help you push the envelope in just the right way. So I feel like whoever you're coming into contact here with the new moon in Aquarius that comes in late January, they're in it with you for the long haul. By the full moon, like this story continues, and it looks like this connection plays a pivotal role in 2025 for you. Yes. Okay. And the advantage is in whatever you let go of, whatever had you pissed off in the past, whatever you were just, fuming about, you wanted to get even about, it really is time to flush it. It really is. Because all that will hold you back. I'll have to tell you, it'll hold you back. And the more you hold on to it, the harder it's going to get to let it pass with ease. Right now, if you're ready to, you can just flush it and be done with it, right? But if you continue to be invested in what made you angry or getting into a tit for tat with someone, it's going to pass like a kidney stone. I'm telling you, okay? So this is urinal death. Something is done. It's over with. It's to your advantage to let that go. Release the anger around it as well. That'll work in your favor. I can also see this too, not letting something go, just the way this is kind of playing off of each other, can also hold you back from this expansion you want to move into. So it really is to your advantage to just sort of like bury the hatchet, let it go, let it pass, let it be done, because you're meant to move into new energy here, right? There's so much of like a disclaimer energy coming through your read about if you want to see progress here, if you want success, if you want all this good stuff to come in, there really is something you need to drop. It's coming through loud and clear. Cut of the deck energy. What do we got here for you? Yeah, we got Papa Macho here, okay? You may feel like somebody's got a hold of you, all right? I think this is what it currently is. Currently, you sort of feel like you're in a strong arm position here. And I say that because the bull is the one who's in Papa Macho's grasp here. And this character is what's keeping you stuck, all right? This character is keeping you stuck. You know, you both have different ideas of how to move something forward, and you're at odds with each other. So you don't go nowhere here. But we already know that you're going to turn this energy around. But this is just to clue you in about what you need to change here, right? I do feel like this person is kind of aggressive, and they're aggressive because they've been wounded here. This person could also be a musclehead, okay? That could give you a little bit of a clue, all right? But this person, they can't make up their mind. It's like 1 minute they're in, 1 minute they're out. It's like back and forth, you know? Yeah. We got the penis weasel here, and you see that phallus is cut off, okay? And we see the weasel is telling you that this is what's sort of stealing the fertility of your new beginnings. You're kind of revisiting something that's keeping you in a place where as long as you keep entertaining this, you know, you're going to be held back. It looks like it's old grudge energy, man. If you want to blaze a new trail, though, it's time to cut this off. It looks like it's some kind of intimate connection that isn't working for you. Not only then do I feel like you're going to be free of this influence that's having like a little too much control over you. Then you'll get the power put back in your hand, and you'll be able to blaze a new trail forward here. Yes. You might have to be a little stealth, though, to give this character a slip with the weasel medicine here. It's to your advantage as well to be stealth about how you're planning on moving forward here, because I do feel like this person is going to want some details. And if you tell them, they're going to hold you back, okay? All right, it's very interesting energy coming in for you here, Taurus. All right, let's check out some other stuff here and see what's coming in for you. All right, we're going to look at the basics, man. We're going to look at health, wealth, love, and get you some spiritual guidance. And we're going to work with this glow-in-the-dark tarot here to illuminate things. Okay, starting out here, we know you're meant to kind of like ease into the new year. You know, take your time, ease into it. There is something here that's caused you pain that you're still in the last stages of sort of integrating, preparing to let go. There is a truth you've arrived at, though, here that you're resting on. Also, since we're looking at health to open up, you may need more rest. You may need more quality sleep. I got something about air quality in your bedroom. You might want to look at getting some kind of like ultraviolet, you know, air cleaning device, you know, to put in your room, something to just improve the air quality in your room. Also, something about maybe it's not dark enough for you either. You might deal with somebody who likes to like keep the TV on in the room, or there's a TV in the bedroom, or there's too much noise getting in, too much light getting in. I feel like there's something that needs to be revamped in the bedroom so you're getting better sleep, because your rest is really important right now in terms of your health. So let's go ahead and we're going to look at health for Taurus first. What is Taurus's health looking like in 2025, Spirit? What is Taurus's health looking like in 2025, Spirit? I like it. See, this looks good. It comes out again, 9 of Pentacles. So I do feel like where you've been stressed because there's been financial holdups, or you haven't seen the financial growth you want to see, I think finances are going to start to improve, and that's going to alleviate a lot of your stress. I also feel like you're switching up your diet a bit. I don't know why, but I'm seeing you like making a lot of different things like ahead of time. And this is allowing you to sort of stay focused on eating more kind of close to the earth, eating more quality food rather than just sort of grabbing something on the go. You're doing a little bit more meal prep here. You may be actually signing up for a particular program. You want to give it a shot. It might be like some kind of like New Year kind of health program that you're signing on for here, and you're experiencing really good results with that. You may also be signing up for some kind of like gym membership. There's something here where you're sort of like locking it in. You might even be making like some kind of financial investment in it, so you'll hold yourself to it. I feel like it has really good results. You're looking good. You're feeling good. I think once you get the rest dialed in, you're going to be feeling a lot better. And there is something here about finances improving and that alleviating a lot of your stress and anxiety. Yes. Yeah, you're taking some brand new approach here with the Page of Wands, right? You're definitely doing something new. You might be doing more walking, with the Hangman on the split here. Yeah, you might be doing more walking. Maybe you were being a little bit too sedentary. You decided you need to get moving more. Maybe you're doing more kind of like hiking. That reminds me of like a hiking stuff. Hiking would be really good for you, okay? You don't have to do something crazy, all right? You can just, get a staff and take it for a walk. That's a good way to alleviate your stress too. Also, it gets you outside into the sunshine. That can boost your mood, okay? But there is something about that, taking more walks. Some of you may have had an injury that sidelined you for a while. I got like plantar fasciitis, like something was bothering your feet or your ankle. You might have had some kind of surgery, some of you. Do be prepared as you start to, exercise more. Sometimes plantar fasciitis can act up. You might want to give yourself a little, you might want to give yourself a little bit more kind of like TLC around your feet. Give yourself a foot rub at night. Yeah, there's something you're doing too, I have to say, that's like, it's sort of spoiling your results. You got some kind of sabotaging habit. It's something you're doing that you're not letting other people know about. It's like you're almost doing it like you're sneaking this, whatever it is, and it's preventing you from healing. You may even be hiding this from a lover or somebody you live with. I could see this as like eating too much junk food or, drinking too much or, there's just some sabotaging behavior here that's preventing you from really seeing the returns on your investment in your health that you want to see here. You need to set a new strategy in place. This could even be around like a lover or a roommate or a family member, like somebody you share space with here. Like you do really well. You do really well, like all week, and then the person you live with brings a bunch of junk into the house. And then the next thing you know, all the hard work goes down the drain and you're right back where you started, okay? Or this could be somebody just encourages you to like get off your health program, or maybe they're not as into that as you are. They're kind of lazy. You really wish your partner would be more into it, or you wish your friend would be more committed. I could even see this as you decided you wanted to start on some health program with a friend or family member or lover, and they said they were going to be in on it with you. They were gung-ho at first, and then they just like bailed out, right? Yeah, it's a sabotaging influence, and I feel like you do need to put a new strategy in place here. And where there is something you're doing, you're kind of hiding it. You might want to look at perhaps like getting a little support for that. If there's some behavior like you feel like you have to hide it, then it might be something you want to look at a little deeper. So if you're like going and eating fast food in your car and then you're like hiding all the wrappers before you come in the house, or if you're you know, stashing the cookies under your bed, or you know, this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Or if you're like going out and you're having drinks when you told your lover, or you know, your family member or whatever, that you were cutting back on drinking or quitting drinking, and then you're sneaking it when you go out with friends or something like that. There's something here that there needs to be some accountability around, I feel, to really transform the health. You could be dealing with somebody like this too, and that's also causing a lot of stress for you, because you keep wanting them to change this behavior. I feel like in that case, it's sort of like a deal breaker kind of thing. And you keep catching them slipping, right? So it might be time to call in some kind of like professional support around that, some kind of counseling, or get a support group going, something along these lines, okay? I feel like this does need to stop though, with the Two of Swords here. Whatever's at the basis of that, whatever the sabotaging behavior is that's kind of being done on the down low, it's emotional in basis, right? So yes, this makes me feel like it might be good to go and see somebody impartial. Like, stop turning to friends for advice about what's troubling you. Maybe go to a support group or go see a counselor, you know? I think that could work out in your benefit there, right? Any further details about the health, Taurus? Again, you in your real independent energy. So yeah, you might find, yeah, there is something that needs to stop here for sure. There is something that's not working out for you. It does need to come to an end. I also feel like, you know, when it comes to your health, whatever program you're on, you may want to partner with somebody on it, but I think you're kind of better if you do your own thing. Not everybody's going to be as committed as you are, and something does need to be brought to an end. Something needs to be cut off here. It's, you know, it's stealing your focus. It's unraveling the hard work that you are putting in to try to transform your health. It feels like it's something that's being hidden. You could be dealing with a lover, you know, that's up to this, and it's really stressing you out. You might need to kind of like, you know, call them to the mat and say, look, either this stops or we're off. I mean, it may sound kind of harsh, but I do feel like this is something that's been going on too long and it's causing a lot of stress, right? So this is an area of transformation needed for health. I do see like you'll be looking good, feeling good once you cut off this sabotaging element, right? Something does need to change here, right? How is Taurus's wealth looking in 2025? How are their finances looking in 2025? What's going on with Taurus's wealth in 2025, Spirit? How are they doing in the area of career and finances in 2025? Bottom of the deck energy. We have the moon here, and we know this. This is not surprising to me. This is associated with Pisces, okay? So there is something karmically here that you're still wrapping up, that you're bringing to a close. There's a little bit of a blind spot you have here. We already know this opening up the year, that you don't really move ahead until you kind of make it through that gateway of initiation, and you are able to sort of like turn the page, leave something behind you. Then you start to move into a real productive cycle here. This also is really giving me the clue that, again, you know, you need to move more concealed. Like, don't let everybody in on your plans around what you want to do in terms of your creative ideas around your career or what financial moves you're making here, because it can have a disillusioning influence for you, okay? What's coming in around wealth, around finances, and career for Taurus in 2025, Spirit? What is coming in the area of wealth, finances, Taurus in 2025. Again, with the Pisces energy coming in, 12th house energy, you definitely have a blind spot currently that needs to be addressed. You could also be dealing with a hidden enemy that comes in with the 12th house, right? So again, you need to play things more close to your chest as far as the moves you're making. It can be surprising sometimes, you know. You think that, you know, what's working against you is going to be so evident. And it isn't always, you know. Sometimes it's the last person you'd expect. And then you're like, man, I wish I would have trusted my intuition. I'm saying that because I think you've already like had hunches in this regard, but you kind of ignored them because of who it is, okay? I do see a turn of fortune for you, though. This is really good with the Wheel of Fortune here. So where you do have that blind spot, I do feel like you're going to cut through the illusion. You're going to figure out where the problem is. You're going to transform the situation with this particular trickster. And I do see you moving forward here. This is very positive. This is a lot of progress. This is a lot of turn of fortune in relation to your finances. And what do we got here? Yes, okay. Do you see what I'm saying here? You need to keep, you know, the opposition at bay. You need to do something alone here. There's going to be a lot of people who want in on this because they know you're going to have some success coming into view for you. And again, there's that key there about you might be partnering with somebody new around this. There's some kind of celebration on offer, maybe a big opening or some big event around whatever you're investing in here. But I do feel like the right alignment is coming in, but only when you cut yourself free from a certain group here or others here who are just wanting to insert themselves in whatever this is you're doing in terms of your career. Whatever you're coming up with here, it will really sort of like make you stand out in the competition. And it'll give you an advantage, but not if you start, you know, spilling your secrets to everybody, letting them in on what you're doing. Then you're going to experience a lot of opposition. And that opposition can be extremely distracting for you. I also say where you're experiencing that kind of energy in your life, where people are, you know, bringing you a bunch of problems and there's a bunch of drama, you need to create some boundaries so you don't get distracted from your work, because something is robbing your attention and it's preventing this alignment from coming in for you. But as long as you kind of like block out your schedule as well, so you really can hunker down and focus on your work, and you don't allow yourself to get distracted by all the people like trying to reach out to you, interrupting you while you're working, wanting to go and, hey, come out with me, have fun. You know, this is distraction energy. You need to get a lot more focused with your schedule and really hunker down with your work. And I feel like if you're able to do that and you put some boundaries down and you don't give everybody the 411 about what you're doing here, you're going to have something really to celebrate here. There is an arrival point and there's a lot of growth here. You might experience so much growth financially too that you're able to like buy your first house, or you're able to up level your house or do renovations at home, or there's something that you're able to do that you wouldn't have been able to do before. It does look like there's mutual appreciation here. So I do feel like there's somebody that ultimately you're going to be like partnering with on this, all right? They'll be brought in on some level. But I feel like right now it's very important that you kind of stay in your own lane and do your own thing, all right? And also, even if you're partnering with somebody on something, there may be ways that you're partnering where it doesn't actually like affect your individual track at all. You know what I mean? Like you may find somebody who's a really good agent, okay? Or they're able to really promote what you do, you know? there may be somebody that you pull in at some point that's able to really capitalize off your vision, but they don't like take a share of whatever this is you're creating here. Because this looks like some kind of independent entrepreneurial pursuit to me. But I feel like the benefit that comes out of this is what it grants you in terms of your lifestyle. So I do feel like financially you're going to be doing well enough where you're going to be like able to level up in terms of your lifestyle. And there may be something around like buying a home, a big move, improvements in the home, may even be having a big party around that. Some of you may be getting hitched. This just coming in, you know, you're getting married. You're able to have enough money to have the kind of wedding you always wanted to have. So I do feel like there is something here. It's definitely a rise in status, but you got to get to work. Time for playing around is over. You know, you got to get more focused here, right? But ultimately, it looks good. Okay, let's do a cut of the deck and see what we got here. Yeah, you're definitely moving forward here, right? Positive energy, Cancer coming in there. And I have to say, you know, you may feel like it's a lot of work to get where you want to go, but with the Four of Wands here, it's a celebration when you arrive there. So yeah, I think that's another reason why you really got to, you know, get down to it. You can't be dissipating your energy anymore. You don't have time for drama. You don't have time to be going out, having fun all the time. It's going to be a lot of work. Whatever this is, I do feel like it's a lot of work. And so that might also be why there's the piece coming in about really making sure you're getting proper rest, getting proper sleep. The reward is so worth it, but you're going to have to get organized here. And it's a lot of work. So just be prepared, but the work is worth it. And the last thing you need is to pull a bunch of other people in that could make more work for you because they don't really hold their peace and they just complicate things. I want to see what's behind this Ten of Wands here. Do you see? Don't pull a bunch of other people in on this. You're going to find you have so much more power in your hands to create the world you want to create for yourself and the wealth you want to come into. If you just stay in your own lane, that's when everything opens up for you, okay? Pull too many people in, pull the wrong people in, it's going to be a mess, all right? Really coming through strongly for you there. All right, let's see what your love looks like in 2025. What's coming in love for Taurus in 2025, Spirit? What's coming in love for Taurus in 2025, Spirit? What is coming in love for Taurus in 2025, Spirit? What's coming in love for Taurus in 2025, Spirit? What's coming in love for Taurus in 2025, Spirit? I mean, I think you're really going to be focused on work. So, you know, love may kind of take a back seat to work. I see that just sort of opening things up. Getting yourself established financially is your first priority. That's kind of what's coming in here, tending to practicalities. Yeah, I mean, I really feel like you almost got a lid on your emotions opening up here, or somebody may be frustrated because they feel like you're always working. And we have this kind of Queen of Cups energy here, looking a little bit frustrated, water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I think if you are a Scorpio rising, a Taurus descendant, this is definitely true for you, where you're really like, look, I don't have time to focus on love right now. I really have certain goals I need to meet. But I do feel like an opportunity is going to come in here. See, it looks like your love really opens up in the summer. Love opens up in the summertime. I do feel like, there's somebody that kind of comes in with the Aquarius new moon. There might be a lot of flirtation, a lot of attraction there. I do feel like this energy continues a bit, but I also feel like it doesn't really get wings, so to speak, until the summertime. I think that's when you finally are like, okay, now there's time for love. I feel like it's more, you're very focused on your work, opening up the year here. Let's get some more details here. I do think there could be a lover who's not happy about that, or a particular Queen of Cups that is not happy about that. That feels like you're putting too much energy into work, or if you identify with the Queen of Cups, you feel like your lover is working too much and it's frustrating for you. Yeah, there's like a separation energy here with the Three of Swords. Okay. So yeah, somebody's feeling like they're not getting any time with you. You're always busy. You're always working. Some of you may be using that excuse. Okay, that's just kind of coming in. You may be using that as an excuse to sort of like get a little space from somebody. Maybe because you're trying to figure out where you really stand with them, what you really feel about this particular connection. Because I do see a separation here. This may be, crossing energy, the lovers here, Gemini energy. There's a choice that needs to be made here. It's coming in the crossing position. There's some kind of separation here. There's some kind of separation. Somebody's not feeling satisfied. You may also feel like somebody's really like keeping their emotions inside, but you feel like something's off. Yeah. Or they feel this about you. Somebody's definitely like wanting alone time here. And there's a decision that needs to be made in love. It's a very important decision here with the lovers. Give me more clues about this. I know something turns around in the summer, but looks like just opening up the year, it's challenging, okay? Something's definitely going on here where there's some kind of separation. And if you're in a committed relationship, it's like you don't really know where the other's at. Like you feel like something's changing in the connection here. We got Nine of Wands energy here. So this could be the advance of somebody who is a lover, all right? And maybe that's what you're wanting to bring to a close with the world here. You could be dealing with a fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Leo coming in really strong. Again, fixed sign energy. You maybe want something more, You want a different kind of connection. You want to feel more passionate, You want to feel like somebody's really in it with you. You may have been dealing with more kind of like hookup kind of energy, or somebody's just like, just in it for the weekend, but they're not really somebody that you can count on at the end of the day. You're wanting somebody you can really count on. I feel like if you're in a committed relationship, you're missing some action in the bedroom. You're like, is the fire ever going to come back? I think it will. I mean, with the Knight of Wands. But I feel like work is taking priority in this situation. And again, there's something that needs to be brought to an end, brought to a close before there will be a way through and things will open up. Again, you could be dealing with a Leo, could be dealing with a Scorpio, could be dealing with an Aquarius in this situation, or fire sign energy. Yeah, Gemini out here as well, okay? Yeah, I don't see there really being steady progress in this situation until summertime. I feel like there might be an opportunity, for a hookup, okay? A little action for those of you who are single, somebody that maybe you have good sexual chemistry with, that comes in sometime around that new moon in Aquarius. And I feel like it'll be there for a little bit. maybe it'll be there for about 3 weeks and then it's over just as fast as it started. I don't think there's really a true beginning in love or sort of reigniting that flame for those of you who are in committed relationships until summertime. Until then, it looks like there's been some stress in a situation. For those of you in committed relationships, you may even be wondering if, there's another lover involved. You may be wondering if your lover is really working like they say they are. That's just kind of coming in, okay? There's a lot that's sort of just like you're feeling it, you're intuiting it, but you don't necessarily have any proof. And I don't feel like there's real open communication about this. I feel like both people are just sort of sitting and stewing in what they're feeling here. I do see with the Knight of Wands, though, somebody is getting it in here, and there is something that does need to be brought to a close. Any more further details about this for Taurus? Yeah, I mean, look at this. I think somebody is wanting, if you're in a committed relationship, somebody's wanting free of that. I see that. I mean, with the Knight of Wands to the Two of Wands, this is somebody they want a fresh start. They want a fresh start on their life, And it looks like they're wanting to be kind of more in a like play it sort of loose kind of energy. All right. Some of you are dealing with a situation like that. Those of you who are in long-term commitments and, nobody's going anywhere, I just feel like somebody's focused on other things right now. They're focused on other things. They're focused on their own objectives, their own ambitions. This is like almost asserting independence within a committed relationship. Again, summertime looks good, but the opening to the year, it looks like there's some things that are being sorted out here emotionally. And there's a lot of defenses up. Somebody feels like they've just been through it too much with somebody. It's been one thing after another. They're tired of dealing with it. They're tired of hearing the excuses. It's always the same story. There's always the same promises that come in. It's always the same thing over and over and over again. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's what I see. Okay, cut of the deck. But I do see a successful outcome, okay, with the Six of Wands here. And I do see an order being restored in love. I do feel like there will be a victory in love that comes in. I feel like it comes in the summer, okay? That's when things work out in this situation, all right? And you get over sort of like the confusion and what feels imbalanced. And I also feel like for those of you who feel like your lover is putting too much emphasis on work, whatever happens by the summertime, you're back to feeling like you're on the same page again. So this is good, okay? It turns out well, but again, not until summer. I feel like until then, you're clearing out some old stuff. There's some challenges, but you'll get through the other side of that, all right? Okay. Finally, to close it out, spiritual guidance for Taurus, please. Spiritual guidance for Taurus for 2025. What does Taurus need to know, Spirit, to have their best 2025, to make most of their opportunities on offer this year? What is coming in for Taurus, Spirit? What guidance do you have for them? Spiritual guidance for Taurus in 2025. Well, there is a need to look at something that has been too much of a restrictive influence. There's something that does need to be transformed here if you hope to change power dynamics, okay? There are some clues about this coming up in the area of relationships or a particular alliance you have that's actually holding you back, perhaps from progress you want to see in your life, perhaps progress you want to see in the material world. There's something about looking at subconscious motivations here and really being honest with yourself where something has come to be more of an inhibition than it is rewarding you. There's a desire to step into one's personal power here And I do think this is important, but in order to step into your personal empowerment, there's subconscious influences that are at play that need to have a little light shed on them. You need to bring some of the subconscious influences into the light, maybe pull some stuff out of the root cellar, look at what's really going on here. And I feel like, especially in terms of a certain alliance, this could be a friendship, this could be a family relationship, this could be a lover you got. There's something that needs to be looked at here and transformed in order to really be able to change this dynamic. But I feel like if you put in that work, you're going to see a lot of advancement in your life. And this could even be like a business partnership that's not working for you, okay? Let's get more detailed spiritual guidance for Taurus in 2025. Spiritual guidance for Taurus in 2020. Yeah. I mean, there's something here that really is just like, it's time up on it, man. This is a betraying influence here. And it's also a certain like mentality. Again, it's that like strategizing. How can I get the upper hand? How can I get one over on somebody? How can I get the last lick back? There's something here that maybe falsely makes somebody feel like they're in a position of power, and it actually disempowers. It holds one back. Mm-hmm. Nobody wins in this case. Nobody wins in this case. I mean, you see one person here is off alone and they look like they're crying. You got another person here who's looking back at this person who's hurt. And then this person here who thinks that they're the victor. What do they hold? They're holding 3 of Swords. They may not realize it yet, but they will soon enough. That's what I feel. Okay. There's some unhealthy element that's involved in some kind of conflict here. It looks like it's some kind of third party dynamic that is doing nobody any good. Nobody wins. It's that kind of mindset too. It's like, who wins, who loses? I don't know. This isn't working. It's definitely a third party dynamic here. Okay. There's something here that really needs to shift, or else it's going to continue to kind of keep you stuck in a repetitive cycle here. More guidance around this, Spirit. What do you want Taurus to know about this 5 of Swords, this sort of betrayal energy, crossing energy coming in here? Yeah, see what it is? It's this who wins kind of energy related to this that needs to be transformed. Because nobody's winning in this situation. It's all illusion. And see, look, there's that real cup of love that's at the center of it all. All this stuff around it is illusion. And that's why I feel like love doesn't really pick up until the summertime, because there's still something old that's being closed out here. There's a lot of illusion around it. There's a lot of glamour cast around this. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And there's something that's not being seen here. And it's because there's too much of an investment in a particular battle. There's too much competitive mindset here. More details about this. How can Taurus overcome this influence so they can really turn things around here? Looks like this is the work you're opening the year with. Even this energy, like this six of Wands energy, 6, that's connected to June. So there's been a lot of reference here coming to summertime, all right? A particular battle needs to be brought to a close. Some competitive, like backbiting situation, some third-party dynamic before you'll get to the other side of this. Yeah, what are you investing in here? That's what Spirit wants you to focus on. What are you really investing in here? Because there's a choice that needs to be made with the Lovers, you see? A choice needs to be made. I feel like where there's been some kind of messy dynamic involved, a third party dynamic, okay, where there's been like multiple levers and there's some kind of conflict that's been brewing in relation to that. It came in earlier. Like something does need to be cut off. Something does need to be cut off if you want to have the kind of turnaround you're wanting to see. You see? And whatever choice you make here, whatever you invest in, it has to be invested in from a perspective of you really understanding your value and what you truly want to pour yourself into here. All right? This is really about reclaiming your sense of value by paying attention to what you're investing in with that Queen of Pentacles, right? I think you have the ability to see through this, right? But there's something that feels like you're still a little bit caught up in. Give me any more information about this, Spirit. I'm telling you, it's nothing but loss here with the Five of Pentacles. It's pretty potent. I mean, this has come up in your reading a few times. Like there's something that needs to be cut off. On the other side of cutting this off, there's nothing but success, right? But until then, it's loss. It's loss. So really consider what you want to invest in here. Because something still remains to be sorted out here. I feel like it's going to take the first couple of months, you know, before you really get to the other side of this. Then I think there will be a moving forward from this with the Eight of Wands here. Lines of communication need to be opened up around this, okay? Something does need to be cleared out so you can move forward, but it feels like you're getting a little bit of a slower start into the new year because there is something that needs to be finalized here once and for all. It's just causing too much loss. It's some kind of entrenched battle, like there's some kind of clashing of wills here, and there's no victory. There's no victory. There's nothing but loss as a result. And I feel like the loss will be reflected on multiple stratums of being. Like all this promise of all this success that can be had, it won't be had if there's like a replay of this energy, because it keeps you in a certain holding pattern that doesn't allow you to progress. So something to consider very strongly. Cut of the deck here to close this out. Got some choices to make. There's some illusion to sort through here. I think you'll choose wisely, though, with the Empress, right? This does require you to really understand your true value. And it does require you to elevate that Nine of Pentacles energy by investing in yourself, investing in your growth, investing in your vision, and also really knowing who you are, right? Don't settle. Don't settle here, because this is beautiful energy. You have the ability to activate the Empress here. And this is energy that also transmutes all that heaviness at the South Node. Libra, Taurus energy here. This is your energy, but this is also closing out a really heavy cycle and getting to the place where you're in this space of growth, mind, body, spirit. There's abundance in your life. You're feeling good. You're looking good. And this is what leads you to that arrival point at the North Node where you greet the Emperor, right? So we do know that love is on offer here, but it's not going to come until first you love yourself enough to really invest in yourself and what you know your true worth is before this comes into view, all right? I feel like you're in a process right now of really making choices about what you invest in. And the choice you make determines how this rolls out. I think you'll choose well.